Welcome to the Property Talk, brought to you by Mirembe Villas. If you're looking for anything to do with affordable housing, then Mirembe Sentema Estate is your go-to. And on the Property Talk with me is a lovely lady, Dativa. It's a pleasure having you on set.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
So you're under the temporary structure concept when it comes to the law, the temporary construction. So you keep saying drop.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever I keep saying drop, I keep it in my mind. I keep thinking, okay, if you're just dropping it, what is its foundation? Like, how is it sitting there? What if something comes up and, you know, it just tips over
and rolls it?
You know, yeah. So when you keep saying drop, that's what comes to my mind. But to the audience out there, someone watching, what is their assurance that this is just not like, you said, this is just dropped and put here. In that I can just come and, you know, lift off and I'm done. I don't want to be sleeping one night and my home is lifted. So what is my assurance?
So when we say drop, what we mean is simply because we're able to manufacture these homes off-site. And we're able to manufacture them and from our yard, then bring you a finished home.
Wow.
Yes.
So I don't have to go through the disorganization of, you know, the work, all that in my compound and all. You just bring me a finished product.
We have created a space where we're able to produce and bring homes that are finished to you. The reason we did that was because there are very many aspects that play in. For example, noise pollution, especially to homes where we still have children, they get affected by that noise. And even an adult ears could get affected by that noise actually. So we try to get a place where we shall contain the production and we weld and cut out and frame and dress. Then when we come to site, probably the week before we arrive on site, the masonry team comes and creates for us the piers, the foundation that receives the box. But what we mean by drop is literally I'll come with a house and drop it to your place.
Now that makes sense, because he kept saying drop and I'm like, hey, so one night I can just be in my house and I'm airlifted
you.
and we are gone. Okay, then now what I would like to know is this is a new concept to the Ugandan market. We should understand that this is a new concept to the Ugandan market. And we're used, you know, Ugandans, we know to have a home, it has to be brick and mortar. You know, that's what we know. If you don't have brick and mortar, you don't have a home. So that's what we're used to. How is the market treating you with such a new concept? How is the audience out there receiving this concept? What are the challenges you're going through?
I'll tell you, you'll be amazed at our generation, how the possibilities we have. Because when we started out, we thought to ourselves, okay, we're going to be our own clients for a start, or probably we're going to believe God for some person, I don't know where they're going to come from to come and buy our projects. But the homes are built for people, you and I. They're for people, you and I. So the acceptance of innovation and creativity around housing definitely has room. All we need is backup from probably the government, probably from the different sectors that affect real estate to allow room for innovation to happen. If you don't understand something, killing it doesn't really help. Probably understanding and trying to guide and control it is much better. So the concept around how people perceive us in the market is very amazing. You will get every inquiry there and then. Every once in a while, somebody will be curious to know. But the idea that we can actually add on to make sure we get more help and more creativity known out there and giving a chance at innovation in housing it's just generally the government stepping in and different aspects of people.
So the government hasn't yet been able to work with you on this project?
Again, it's what you understand. If you're behind if you are 25 years ahead of the law, when do you expect them to catch up with you? We have a long way to go.
But are they being open to this? Are they reciprocating?
When you sit and understand and provide structured drawings, they're open to discuss, they're open to understand. But still, they'll tell you, go ahead, but I still don't agree. I still don't have paper to back you up. But
what is the future of container housing in Uganda?
Again, guys, the future of container housing, once we start having our steel factories come up with all these concepts and produce them locally, we will be much better off. And the future of housing is going to stretch by these boxes. If we can get a place whereby, you know, as a culture, as a generation, as a culture, we all grow up admiring to buy land. Probably 35-year-olds and to 28 to 35-year-olds that own a piece of land in Kampala are quite many. We all buy land for some reason, when we grow up in Njagulaya Kataka. You buy that piece of land, the actual construction takes a toll on a human being.
True.
And they actually never build. So you find somebody has 5 plots of land, they're not real estate dealers, they're just hoping to build. But they have actually not built anything. And somebody calls you and says, put for me a little thing to live in while I figure out what to do. And that little thing becomes the main house. And it stays and it is beautiful.
How affordable is container housing?
Container housing, affordability is the most relative conversation I could ever hold with anybody.
True.
Because if you're going to get a box and drop in a shower of 10 million,
that doesn't become affordable. But in the sense that I am asking, if you are to look at the normal person, like I earlier on said, you know, and you're to look at a person who earns 1 million and less per month. Because that's the majority. Actually, the majority of the Ugandan today, unemployed Ugandan, earn from 500,000 to 700,000, within that gap. That's the majority. So what is affordable in relation to that with container housing?
So container housing is not necessarily cheap. I have to highlight that. Container housing is not cheap because it is trying to get a box in its basic form and add luxury to it. And luxury doesn't come cheap. If you want to have a normal basic with a door shut to sleep, you will get affordable in a container because we just cut out a window for you.
For example, how much does a container cost?
So a
basic container with nothing yet done to it.
40-foot container, probably a higher cube, is about 17 to 18 million Uganda shillings. But that's, you already have the house there. That's what I'm saying. Affordability is very relative. You already have a house at that point. If you add a 2-3 door window, probably you're in about 19 million. But to make that space into a luxurious, beautiful space, which we actually do build, because we build luxury. We don't build basic. We build really real luxury. We're trying to make so much out of shipping containers, so much to give out to different clients and different needs they have. But from the concept of affordability, it is affordable. But to work with beauty as an end of luxury living, containers are not necessarily cheap. But from a normal mortar and brick house, the comparison is probably between a good house is about 2.5 million per square meter in mortar and brick, like a normal 2.5 million per square meter.
Yes, true.
You could get a container you could get a house done from about 900 to 1.2 million from a shipping container. Yes.
Okay, that's relatively cheap if you put it in that perspective.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure the audience out there is asking the same question. What is the shelf lifeline if you create this container into a home? Because you said if it's not created, if it's just a basic container, it has 100 years
on water.
On water of shelf life. Now on ground, what is its shelf life?
First of all, the concept around contained steel is its self-renewal it has as a box. If it knows how to protect itself from any element. I've told you, if you go to Luzira right now, what was that place down there?
Not so sure.
There's a place
I know
down there
that place that has the
that was taken by water,
yes.
and the containers are still there. If you go and look at those boxes today, they were sunk in water for I don't know how long until the water went back to its normal state. Those boxes
and they're still in good condition.
Still look as good as they were. So shipping containers are not going anywhere. And plus, this is not new. It might be new on our continent.
It is new on our market.
Yes. But it's not a new concept. It has been done before.
Been done before, yes, I know. But on our market, on the Ugandan market right now, it's a new concept.
It's a very new concept, which I think we need to give a chance because at the end of the day, sustainability is upon us. You know, there was days when we pointed fingers at people and said that they're building in swamps.
Yes.
Now this is our part. We need to contribute to our stake in sustainability.
You know, swamps are being reclaimed now. East-west swamps are being reclaimed because land is getting fewer in the city center. So by reclaiming swamps, it is more eco-friendly. I understand.
It is
eco-friendly. It is serving Mother Nature. I understand. But how do you incorporate Mother Nature in them?
The fact that I could drop a box above the ground, I've not tampered with the ground. Or if I could, I've done a few projects whereby they're stilted, literally. Nothing has gone on under the ground. Nothing has been affected. But also because you're recycling something that would ordinarily cost so much resources to destroy just to create a new aspect somewhere else, you're already saving Earth. So if you can reduce the footprint of housing through this concept of, imagine if you build a house today whose carbon footprint is with all the amount of glass, I don't know the amount of
the brick, the mortar.
If you build a house whose footprint is probably 0.05% emission rate, and a shipping container literally just going to come and cooperate with the ground it is on. You place it, you can lift it away tomorrow. You can work with that environment, even hard terrains. Especially hard terrains are very nice with shipping containers because I could set up a flat surface anywhere. Because it comes structurally stable with its surface of a flat surface inside as a container. So I could set up anywhere. People who live in hills, containers are the thing. We can place the baby in there and there's nothing happening to the ground.
Letitia, it is a pleasure having you on set. But see, me explain to the audience about container housing and all its beauty, and the mindset is that thing that we see that we ship in cargo, you know, Nakawa, those containers we see in Nakawa, turning that into a home. So I think it would be a blessing if we could come to visit one of your sites. Where are your sites located?
We have a model home that sits in Chigo. It's a very nice view. It's a very nice property that you could come by and see. But we're also building a model home down at our offices at Tinda Industrial Area. We're building a model home which shall allow you to come in as an open house, look around, experience and touch the product. So we cannot wait to host you and answer all your questions.
Well, as they are concluding with the one in Tinda, I and my audience will be coming to visit the one in Chigo.
Sure.
So I hope you're ready to host us.
We will be glad to host you.
Because we'd love to come down there, visit the one in Chigo, get the feel, the experience,
Yeah.
and know exactly what we're talking about.
Sure.
It was a pleasure having you on Set the Table.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.